Let's go straight over to the head of campaigns at the Popular Conservatism organisation, Andrew Allison. Welcome, Andrew.
Good morning, Kevin. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. Well, first of all, what order should we do? Let's do the Hamlet story first. Theatregoers have been issued a trigger warning over William Shakespeare's classic tragedy, Hamlet, because apparently it contains scenes of, and I quote, coercive behaviour. Those visiting the National Theatre later this year will be given this warning and are told to prepare themselves for other themes such as suicide, as well as depictions of madness and violence. Well, who knew? Because this is a brand new play, so it's just as well we've got these... What on earth? This is the National Theatre. This is the National Theatre.
I would have loved to be part of those discussions, Kevin, you know, to issue a trigger warning or not to issue a trigger warning. That is the question.
That is the question, yes.
As you quite rightly said in the introduction, these plays have been performed for hundreds of years. Shakespeare's sonnets have been performed for hundreds of years. There hasn't been a writer that has done more for the English language than William Shakespeare. He was a genius. These plays were not written. Hamlet wasn't written. None of these plays were written last week or last year or a decade ago. It's just infantilization, isn't it?
Yeah, of us. Of us, yeah. I mean, a lot of apologists for this nonsense say, oh, well, it's to do with insurance, you know, because if somebody was traumatised by this and we hadn't warned them, we'd be in big trouble. That is just crap. It's claptrap, absolute rubbish. Anyway, when you go to the National Theatre to watch The Prince of Denmark, Hamlet, you will get this... suitability note, apparently. It says, this production contains themes of grief and death, including suicide and the loss of a parent, depictions of madness, violence and coercive behaviour. So now we have to be warned if a play or a film or a TV series, a drama, contains the loss of a parent. Well, why do we need a warning about that?
Well, we don't need a warning like that, Kevin, but last week we commemorated the 80th anniversary of victory in Japan, the final end of the Second World War, with that brave generation. And this generation, according to the National Theatre and according to many other people, need trigger warnings for just about anything. There's bad language in it, there's death of a parent, as you said, there's murder, there's violence, there's rape, there's a whole host of things where any intelligent person knows that that's what they're going to be seeing if they're going to the theatre, or they know that's what they're going to be seeing if they go to the cinema. I mean, this is not a great generation if we require trigger warnings for these sort of things.
Yeah, that's what annoys me about this, Andrew, is that there's this assumption that, you know, the new generation, the finest, most sophisticated, sensitive, wonderful people who have ever existed, we've detected a terrible omission on the part of people who've enjoyed Shakespeare for 500 years. That they've made this terrible mistake of not warning audiences that somebody's dad or mum dies in this production. That doesn't make us the greatest generation. It makes us the most pathetic generation. It also makes us entitled and arrogant that we assume that somehow we're so much better than the people of the past. As I say, actually, this nonsense indicates that we're a lot worse than the people of the past.
I completely agree with you, Kevin. Generations in the past watched these plays, enjoyed these plays, and were not traumatised by these plays. So we really do have to ask the question, why do they think that audiences now are going to be traumatised by these plays? Or really, I think that people are not going to be traumatised by these plays. It's the idiots who are actually putting them on who think that.
We need to talk about St. Augustine in a minute. In a new children's book, suddenly St. Augustine, how about that? I'm sure he didn't realise. Well, in this new book, he's black. We'll talk about that in just a second. Maybe we could talk about the Royal Borough of, since this is Woke Corner, the Royal Borough of Greenwich in south-east London has issued a 45-page booklet in which the staff of this council are told not to refer to married couples as husband and wife. They are told spouse or partner will avoid offending anyone not identifying with a gender. So you can't say that a married couple consists of a husband and a wife, because that would be upsetting to anyone who doesn't identify with husband and wife, because the gender is male and female. I mean, when is this nonsense going to end?
I haven't read, you'll be surprised to hear, Kevin, I haven't read this particular 45-page document. But
it's on your to-do list, though, right?
In all fairness to the borough of Greenwich, it's not the only council that does this. I mean, I've been commenting on this for quite some time, where people get offended by the words like mother and father. And that's this, you can't say Mr. and Mrs. I mean, going back to what we were just discussing to do with Shakespeare, I mean, who the hell is actually getting offended by this?
Yeah.
I don't. Do you ever speak to anyone on the street?
No, this is it.
Because I'm offended by this.
You're so right. You're so right. It's like kind of self-censoring and assuming offence where there isn't any. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Derek Bates was the host. You remember that TV series Mr. and Mrs., where two couples would turn up and the husband and the wife would be asked questions about each other. You know, what's his favourite morning drink when he wakes up? Is it tea, coffee or Pernod? You know, and they go, tea. You're absolutely right. You know, well, what would that show be called now? It would just be called Two People, wouldn't it? Because Mr. and
even that might be offensive.
Yeah,
to
Mr. and Mrs. would be insulting. You know, spouse and partner, unbelievable. Just quickly before you go, let's also talk about this children's book, which is written by Church of England officials. Is a diversity drive. It's come out now, and Saint Augustine is depicted as a black guy. And there's no real history that he was a black guy, but in this book he is. That's what kids are going to be told. Why?
Oh, that's a very good question, isn't it? I mean, that's a question to be addressed to the Church of England. I mean, St. Augustine of Hippo is a very important saint to the Church. He's one of the 38 doctors of the Church. He came from North Africa.
Yeah.
His mother, St. Monica, is actually her feast day celebrated the day before his, and that's just next week. So he wasn't white as in we are white, but neither was he black.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to say, well, we shouldn't depict him as a white person, well, fair enough, but depict him what he actually probably did look like. And we all know what people from North African descent look like. So I really can't see why the Church of England is doing this. But of course, if you go to the Church of England from 3 years ago with the whole links to slavery, reparations, St. Anne's bounty, they managed to find £100 million down the back of the ecclesiastical sofa for reparations and to try and right the wrongs of the slave trade. You even had, Kev, the Bishop of Manchester deeply apologising, saying he was deeply sorry for the church's link to the slave trade. It's something that happened about 300 years before he was born. Yeah. It's pathetic.
Check this out. This is, in fairness, in fact, as you say, St. Augustine would not have been black in the way that he's depicted in this book. Some time ago, in America, to be fair, the Catholic University of Villanova in Pennsylvania, an official there wrote that it was important to depict St. Augustine as black because, and I quote, depicting St. Augustine as a black man actively decenters whiteness, as opposed to the fact that he wasn't black. Honestly, Andrew, I keep saying this morning, this world has gone mad. Can you please stop it? I need to get off. Good to talk to you, Andrew. Let's talk again soon. Andrew Allison there, head of campaigns at Popular Conservatism. Let me know what you think about that crazy wokery.
Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed that, please give it a like and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. More details about us can be found on our website, popularconservatism.com, and you can also follow us on social media. Details about that can be found in the notes below.